Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today it is Lawn Revitalization Day here at Creekside. We are revitalizing our fescue lawn, and we have had so many of you ask us about how we get our grass, how we get our lawn to be as beautiful as it is. And so today we're going to share some trade secrets with you. They're not really secrets. It is just a regular maintenance program that we have with our fescue lawn. Of course, we are in North Carolina, a zone 8A. So where we are in the Piedmont of North Carolina, just meaning the geographical region of North Carolina, we are kind of in that transition zone. So we can grow cool weather grass like fescue, or we can grow warm weather grass like Bermuda, zoysia, centipede, those kinds. Jerry and I choose to have a fescue lawn because for, I would say, 11 and a half months out of the year, it looks amazing. So it is a cool weather grass, and the time that it begins to go dormant would be in the very heat of the summer, right? So the hottest part of the summer, it will start to go, I don't say brown, it just is not looking as lush green as it normally does. However, the other 11 months out of the year, it does look amazing. It is beautiful. It is green. In the wintertime, when everything else is kind of depressing, the grass is lovely green. So the reason that we are revitalizing the lawn now, this time of the year, is because it is glorious weather. Jenny is in long sleeves and blue jeans. The temperatures are beginning to cool down. We're not blazing hot. It's still warm, but we're going cooler. And so now is when the time we want to feed the lawn. We want to put down new seed. We want to do all of these things so that this fescue grass, it is going into its growing season. We want to give it all the tools that it can possibly need to grow strong, happy roots, which give us happy shoots of green and a beautiful, lush lawn for the remainder of the year. So if you have a fescue or another cool weather grass, this is the time of year that you're going to want to tend to it. So what we're going to share with you today is what we do. We've got some brand new food for the lawn that we're going to share with you. This is going to be a great addition to our maintenance routine of our grass. You might be able to hear behind me, Chandler is here. Chandler is the one who maintains our lawn. He does all of the revitalization, the maintenance, he cuts the grass, he does all the edging. So really when you see that beautiful grass, it is Chandler's handiwork. So what he is doing right now is he is riding on his machine. This is a core aerator. And the core aerator is really, really important because you can see that he's just running along up and down all around wherever the grass is, that's where he's running. And so what this core aerator does is it goes through to the grass, and it has these plugs, spikes, whatever you want to call it, and it makes these holes in the lawn. So not only does it make the hole, so it doesn't just compact it and push it, it actually pulls out these little nuggets. They look like Tootsie Rolls of soil, and so they are all throughout the lawn. So what this does is, one, it creates a hole for, you can see this is a really good hole right here. It's about the size of your thumb down in there. What it does is it creates that hole, and this is where naturally the seed and the fertilizer is going to fall down into that hole. So Chandler's core aerator is really cool because it has a bin on top of it, and he actually has the grass seed in there. And so as he's running back and forth and aerating the soil, it's also putting down the grass seed. That grass seed is naturally going to go in that hole. Excuse me. It will also just lay on top of the soil that doesn't have the holes, but the holes are pretty close together. So when you aerate your soil, right, because we do have that lovely red compacted clay soil, it opens it up. So when it rains, water will get down in there. It just doesn't run off. You get oxygen in there. It promotes good root growth. So there's all sorts of wonderful reasons why we want to aerate with our soil when we're putting down the grass seed and the fertilizer. But in my opinion, one of the biggest things is that it gives it a home for for the grass seed and the fertilizer to go. Now, over time, y'all, those little chunks, they're gonna go into the soil. I can hear people say, well, you're gonna have these little nuggets all over your yard. Well, yeah, we do for a little bit, but not that much. So another thing is, of course, when we're doing all of this revitalization, is that you have to kind of stay off of it. So no machinery on the soil, on the lawn. We really don't even like to walk on it. So of course, then the signature garden will be closed because we don't want to compact. And then if you've got this little baby grass growing, you don't want to squish it and then kill the grass, right? So once we do this, we really stay off the grass completely. Until you have about 2 or 3 cuts with your lawnmower, then those blades on the grass will toughen up, and then you can kind of get back on it. So once this is going on today, we're staying off the grass for quite a while. Now, let's go talk about this cool, great, wonderful new food that we're trying out in the yard that I know we're gonna have great success with. All right, my friends, so we have got, I feel like Vanna over here. We have got all of the turf tones. A couple of years ago, we were talking with the folks at Espoma, and we were like, we would love for you to have great lawn food for our grass, right? Because if you use the Espoma Tone products, then you probably are a big fan. Maybe you're not a big fan of the dust and the smell, but you're a big fan of the results, as are we. So at that time, they were actually building a brand new plant in Pennsylvania. And the cool thing is, y'all, this fertilizer is not what you think of as the normal tones, right? It's not the real powdery tones. It is pelleted, which means there is a whole lot less dust and that lovely tone fragrance going out into your yard. So we are going to be using and incorporating the turf tone products into our regular maintenance of our tall fescue grass. Now, if you have tall fescue or really whatever kind of grass you have, then I would highly encourage you to check out some of your universities. Every state has a university that kind of specializes in agriculture. For us, it's NC State. And NC State has an entire program on how to maintain your fescue lawn. Like, they tell you to do this, 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 and this throughout the entire year. So do a little bit of research, find those reputable sources like the universities, and they will walk you through month by month on how to maintain your lawn. Because having a beautiful lush green lawn, no matter what grass you have, there is maintenance involved. And so if that is something that you're interested in, it is totally worth it. We personally love having beautiful grass. We are in North Carolina, so like I said, we are in a transition zone. We can do the cool or we can do the hot. We like doing the cool. So today, after Chandler gets done aerating and seeding, then he's going to come back through and put down fertilizer. So what he's going to be doing today is the Turf Tone Lawn Starter. So this is just like it says, my friends, is that starter fertilizer, right? So think about when we plant our plants and we use biotone. That is a starter fertilizer. So it is the purple bag. So we're going to go purple first. And then, so what this does is that whether you're doing your new grass from seed or from sod, this is definitely applicable. So it is a little bit higher in phosphorus than the other two foods to help grow strong roots. As we know, happy roots equal happy shoots. So this is when you're going to use it just when you seed or put down your sod, all right? So your starter fertilizer. So we have that. Now, next, in a couple of weeks, hopefully it'll be that soon. If we could get some rain, that would be great. We are going to be using the fall winterizer. So this is going to be in the brown bag. Think fall, like pumpkins, fall color brown. So the fall winterizer is really going to help promote that great, beautiful growth of that seed that has now germinated. It's going to help that one. It's also going to help the existing grass, right? Because we still have a lot of great healthy grass in here, so that grass also needs some food. So the fall winterizer is going to supply long-lasting nitrogen, and nitrogen is a very important source of food for plants, right? So it helps promote that thicker lawn and vigorous grass. It is also fortified with potassium. So that's the nutrient that helps the lawn recover from the summer drought, right? Because in the summer, that's when our fescue is most stressed. And it enhances winter hardiness and helps promote better spring greening the following season. So we will be using this, it's mid-September, let's say maybe in early October through October, somewhere in that, right? And so there is grace in gardening, so that's when we're going to be using the fall winterizer on that, guys. Now, another great thing about with them turning the tones into pellets is you can put them in spreaders, right? Because this is the time of season where you see people walking up and down their grass with those walk behind spreaders. This will go in really nicely in those spreaders and just be so much easier to put out. And on the bag, it tells you if you have what spreader model, it will tell you the setting and what to use. So extremely helpful on that. All right, green. So I love how they did the colors. This is perfect. So the green is the all-season lawn food, right? So all season. This is going to be how I would say like plant tone is a Swiss Army knife for the plants. This is going to be like the Swiss Army knife for your grass because it's all season. So what we will be doing is once we go through the winter, maybe through December, maybe like January, February, we're going to start adding the all-season lawn food. Now with fescue, tall fescue, you do not need to feed this every month, right? This is a really nice, tough grass. And in fact, with the turf tone all season, this is going to supply, again, that long-lasting nitrogen, just like your winterizer, but we want to stop feeding the fescue about mid-March here, because if we're adding too much nitrogen to the lawn and we're going into those hot summer months, it puts too much stress on the plant and they could then make the grass susceptible to fungus. So for us in North Carolina, about mid-March, March 15th is when we want to stop feeding our fescue. Then we wait till this time next year and then we begin the process all over again. But this all-season lawn food is a great option to give it that supplemental food, that nitrogen. So maybe once the winterizer nitrogen kind of starts to dissipate, then we come back in with that all season, and that makes the big difference in that beautiful lush green grass, because food equals not flowers here, but beautiful lush green grass. So that is what we're going to do, and as Chandler wraps up doing the aerating and the seeding, then we're going to put down the purple bag, the starter fertilizer. And we will, as Jerry just said, we'll see, I'll show you exactly what it looks like, and we'll see how dusty it is, and we'll see what the smell is, because we're doing our entire, basically from where the daylilies are all the way to the back. So it's going to be a good size area, so we'll let you know how odorous it is. All right, my friends, so Chandler has gotten everything aerated. He has gotten the seed down, so now he has is starting to go ahead and put down that starter fertilizer. For the front and then the little side piece that's near the driveway, the terrace garden, he is using the push, the walk behind spreader, because this is what most homeowners are going to use. Of course, he's a professional, so he got a new ride behind automated spreader this year. So he's going to test that out here in the backyard in a minute. But I think he ran out of that bag, but that's just that walk behind. So of course it has on the bag, it has those settings. So once he poured it in, there was some dust, I would say. It's not completely dust free. So there you go. And it is a little bit of a windy day here. But yeah, so he got it out, and oh, here goes some more. So yeah, so you can see him walking, and of course it just shoots out, and he knows what that diameter is that he shoots out. So there you go, just walking it, getting it down. And so all those little holes in the ground now are the perfect little house, little home for that grass and that fertilizer. So he's just going to keep on walking that, and then like I said, when he goes in the back, then he'll use his fancy dancy new automated one, so he can ride behind Jerry's like vanna now for this guy.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool.
it is cool. So
What you got going on over there?
what do I have going on over here?
Yeah.
You wanna go see?
Yeah.
So he spotted, this morning I had an epiphany. I was like, you know, I had this little empty spot where in this new corner bed right here, and we weren't quite sure exactly what to do with it. Now it is a little bit of a breezy day. Maybe my Vanna can put my pots right upside for me. And so I was like, man, this is like the perfect spot to put some perennial sedums, because heaven knows that this is a hot, dry space right here, and we have kind of an abundance of sedums at the nursery, at least some of them. So I went and grabbed some of the coral jade. This is the Rock and Grow Coral Jade from Proven Winners. A lovely green and then the pink flowers on it. So incredibly beautiful. And the pollinators love these. So I grabbed, I think, maybe seven of these guys. And then, y'all, now I know some of these are looking a little sad, but they had the back in black. We had the back in black. Still from Proven Winners. These, we were completely sold out. And these 3 little scragglers, bless their little hearts, were up on production. So I grabbed them. I know that they're not primo condition right now. That's all right. I'll get them in the ground next year. They'll be glorious. So to have those 3 black ones, and then to have kind of this sea of the green coral jade right there. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get them in the ground at some point, because of course sedums love the sun. They want it hot, they want it dry. Like those pots are bone dry, and that's the beautiful thing about sedums, is because they're perfect for rock gardens, those hot spaces. And like right now, right here, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get a little toasty. There's not irrigation on this bed, and so for right now I'm having to make sure that our new shrubs and tree are getting enough water so that they get acclimated and get those roots going. But that's the beautiful thing to fill in with these sedums. You don't have to worry about really watering it, and it's nice and low. They're going to be about, when they're blooming, at the maximum is like 12 to 18 inches tall. So that way it doesn't hide my umbrella pine, and it just brings a completely different color and texture in here. And this soil is not that great, especially like right here beside the road. We did put in some black gold, but still for sedums, that is not enough to affect them. And this is going to be the one plant that I will not use biotone with. Sedums do not like fertilizer of any kind. They'll get really open and floppy. And compost, they don't like a ton of compost. So the more you can neglect them, the better they are. So I'm going to add those in there. So that's the plan with that. Okay. Does that sound good? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Cece, I was talking to Cece, and I told her the idea about doing the sedums, and she was like, oh yes, please come get them, because they don't overwinter well in pots, because we can get so much rain. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's better to get them in the ground, and it's plenty warm enough right now to get them in the ground. So at some point I will get them, probably not today, but maybe tomorrow I'll get them in the ground. So that's that. Okay, my friends, so Chandler went ahead and got the starter fertilizer in the automated spreader, and so he is zipping back and forth here in the backyard. But yes, I would encourage you, whatever kind of lawn you have, whether it is tall fescue, maybe it's warm weather grass, maybe it is, as my sweet friends call, God's grass, which means it is just the natural grass weeds that come up in your yard. A little food goes a long way to feed that. And I get that some people are not lawn people. Y'all, that is what makes the world go round. We are all different and enjoy different things, right? So for those folks who do enjoy tinkering with the grass and trying to get a nice, beautiful stand of grass, hopefully this has been helpful, but I would encourage you to seek out those professional sources. If you're just now learning about how to maintain your lawn, go out there, talk to people, talk to your local like feed and seed, because they will be able to help you, kind of point you in right directions as far as different grass blends that you use and all, because there are so many different types of seeds out there that you can use in your grass. And so we just encourage you, if that's something that you enjoy, have fun doing it. We sure do enjoy our grass. It helps when you are sitting on 8.5 acres. It all can't be gardens, and otherwise it would return to the jungle and the woods. So definitely helps us with like erosion and that kind of thing. So we do enjoy our grass, and again, hopefully this has been helpful. If you have found it informative, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll keep you updated on the progress. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.